What is going on, everyone? I'm hoping you're doing okay. Hopefully you're all staying safe. Thank you for everyone who has subscribed already to my YouTube channel. We just hit 50 subscribers, so I'm super amazed by that. But getting to the most important part of the workout, and that is what you guys have clicked on. It is a leg day workout. Hopefully you can take away some value from this workout, and what I'm going to do is show you a few options on you can do at home regarding exercising. Because I know equipment is minimal at the moment and a lot of you are struggling with motivation or just trying to get your hands on some kit. So I've got a few different options for you. We're going to do a dumbbell workout, we're going to do a resistance band workout, and we'll also do a bodyweight workout that you can do at home to train your legs. So hopefully you enjoy this video. Sit back and relax and let's get into it. What's going on, guys? Going to hit you with a commentary today. So before we get into any sort of exercise, we need to make sure that the body is thoroughly warmed up. So I'm just going to take you through a few exercises that you can incorporate into your leg day warm-up. So these are called walkouts. So all you need to do is basically do as it says, walk onto your hands and then just walk out. Simple, one hand in front of the other, come out as far as you can, keep your hips parallel to the body, walk back up and stretch above your head. This is a great way of getting everything walking. So your upper body warm, your lower body warm, your hamstrings, your glutes, your spine, everything. Is a really good exercise. As you can see at the bottom corner, it's got ×3, so I recommend with every exercise that I'm about to show you, you do that for 10 reps. This exercise is called kick through into thoracic extension. This exercise is really good for easing off the hip flexors and also warming up your spine. So what you need to do is kick one leg through, and with the leg that you kick through, lift that hand up and twist and make sure your head follows the direction of your hand. So the idea is to try and warm up the spine and your hip flex. So you can say what I'm trying to do is do 5 on the left, 5 on the right. I'll have a little break and I'll repeat that 2 more times. So again, the next exercise is another thoracic spine extension. So you're going to squat into a squat position. Try and go as low as what your mobility will allow you. And then all you're trying to do is keep one hand placed on the floor, and then with the opposite hand, twist and look around with your head. This is a great way to obviously warm up the spine. So if you're going to put any load onto it, this is a great way to warm it up, and also a good way to obviously get into a squat position and make sure you're nice and mobile. Again, perform 10 repetitions, 5 on the left, 5 on the right, have a break, and then do this 2 more times. The next exercise I got here is squat pulses. So what we're trying to do is go into a low squat position, narrower the better, and then we're just going to rock from side to side, and then as that eases off, try and increase our range. So just basically just step up and go into a wider squat position. Again, just pulsing from left to right, trying to get the hips nice and mobile with this one, and it's pretty funky and it's a fun exercise to do. This last exercise you're about to see here is an adductor stretch. So don't worry if you don't have a barbell, that's perfectly fine. You can use a broom or a mop, and all we're trying to do is work the inner thigh. So this is a really tricky area to stretch, but if you have a barbell, it makes it so much easier. So all we're trying to do is spread our legs out as far as possible and just making sure that our legs are straight and that we're making contact with the bar. Then what we're going to try to do is go 30 seconds one way and hold, and then once that eases off, 30 seconds the other way. As you can see in that little clip there, I've made a real focus on trying to keep your chest up and don't let your shoulders round. Unfortunately, my mobility sucks, so I'm leaning forward, but I should really focus on keeping my chest up and my shoulders back. We're now going to get into the main part of the workout. So with this workout, I'm going to cover supersets. So supersets are 2 exercises back to back with no rest. So I'm going to show you a dumbbell version, I'm going to show you a resistance band version, and I'm going to show you a bodyweight version, because I know some of you have limited kit or you don't have any kit. The first exercise we're going to do is a narrow dumbbell squat. So what we're trying to do is place our heels on the plate, and this means that obviously if you're lacking mobility like myself, it means that we can get into a good position and our form's not going to be affected. Dumbbells are by the side and we're going to a squat position. It's really important, do not lock your legs. What we're trying to do is come up to 3/4 and back down. So with this intensity and tempo, we want to spend 3 seconds on the way down, a 2-second pause at the bottom, and 3 seconds on the way up. But remember, do not lock your legs. I've got the dumbbells by my side because that's how I prefer it, with preference to dumbbell elevated squats. And again, you're going to do 12 reps of this, and then you're going to move straight into the next following exercise. So the next follow-up exercise is a Bulgarian split squat. So you're going to do is elevate 1 foot on an object. If you have a chair, if you have a sofa, if you have a wall, it doesn't matter, just try and get it up in the air, and then we're going to go into a lunge position. So all the weight is going to be on my left leg there, and I'm just trying to push away with the floor. Leaning slightly forward means that we can get more quad activation, Again, if your balance is affected, what I'd recommend is doing this with one dumbbell and holding an object to keep your balance. Lucky enough, this is on my left leg, so I'm pretty good at balancing with this leg. Again, slowly up, slowly back down. Time under tension is key, and it's all about tempo. This is still the first exercise, but I'm going to show you a variation that you can do this with bands. So if you have some resistance bands, then you can utilize this workout again. So I'm going to show you a version with a band. Again, making sure it's in the middle of the foot, making sure the band is wrapped around your back, so the top half of your back is not on your neck, otherwise this will cause some discomfort. With the banded elevated squat, you just need to make sure that your heels are on the floor, and as you can see, my arm position, I've got my hands open out in front. That's just a little check for myself to make sure that I keep my chest up when I squat. And again, coming all the way up to 3/4, back down, a pause, and back up. Again, do not lock your legs. What we're trying to do is overload the muscle. So again, if you come all the way up and lock your legs, you're taking the tension out of your legs. And what we're trying to do is create as much tension as possible and add a stimulus to the body. So all you need to do is you need to do 12 reps of this, and then we'll move on to the next exercise. It's really important when you move on to the next exercise that you do not rest in between exercises. We're going from one to the other. The next one is a banded lunge. So what you kind of want to do is wrap the resistance band around one shoulder and then push it to the opposite leg. Then you're going to go into that lunge position and come all the way down and back up. Try not to lock your legs again. As you can see, that you will find that one side is slightly better at balancing than the other. So I'm doing this on my right leg, so my balance isn't as good. A little tip when you're doing anything that needs balance, what you should do is keep your chin up and look forward and really stare at a specific point. So I'm just staring at a brick on the wall, and this is going to help me keep the balance. Now we're going to show you a variation that you can do with body weights. If you don't have any equipment, don't worry, I've got you covered. So what we're going to do is an elevated narrow squat. So again, you should get the hang of this, making sure that your heels are on the plate, squatting down as far as your body will allow, pausing at the bottom, so taking all the momentum out of the squat, and then driving your feet through the floor. So imagine that you're on a trampoline, for example, and we're trying to get as tall, well, not as tall, we're trying to jump as tall as possible. So you need to think about driving your feet into the floor. A great little check with this one is obviously keep your hands out and forward, and this will really give your body a connection to try and focus on keeping your chest up. A lot of time when people squat, their chest runs forward. So if you put your hands out in front, this will help you. And then the superset that we're going to put this with is a single leg Bulgarian squat. As you guys are well aware, just make sure that you do 12 reps on one leg and 12 on the other. So the second superset that we're going to do is a glute bridge. So what I'm really doing is focus on driving my heels through the floor. So you can see I've lifted my toes, I've got a weight on my hips, and what I'm trying to do is drive my hips up and then squeeze my glutes for 2 seconds. Now obviously if that's not hard enough for you, what you can do is what I've done here and put one leg out and extended one leg. Watching back at this, I should really try and keep my right leg a little bit closer to the floor, and all I'm trying to do is independently work one side. So if I do this, I'm just working my left butt cheek, and then what I'll do is I'll swap over and do 12 repetitions on my right. But this is a great way of obviously getting a good mind to muscle connection with your glutes, and you can do this exercise with or without any equipment. Once you've done 12 repetitions on the left or right, or done them both at the same time, you're then going to superset this with a goblet squat without any rest. It's really important you do not have any rest in between these exercises. So goblet squat, all you need to do is make sure that your feet are shoulder width apart, slightly rotate your legs outwards before you do this exercise, and that way you're going to get a good squat. A lot of people don't activate their glutes when they squat, so if you slightly rotate your legs outwards, it means that your glutes are already active when you go into a squat. And just making sure that the dumbbell is on your chest, and again you're keeping good eye contact with a specific point in front, a good little marker, and just going as deep as what you can. Eventually, when you get better at these, you should be able to go deeper. But again, this is a great way of working your quads and using your core because the weight's out in front, so we're having to stabilize this.
Moving on, we're going to go to the banded variation. So this one, you need to make sure that the band is around the middle of the foot. And then what you're going to do is pull the band over your legs and make sure you place it onto your hips. Again, if you don't get this right, then it's going to cause some discomfort. So you need to adjust it to your preference. So we're now going to go into that glute bridge. So what we're going to do is come up and squeeze our glutes, 1, 2, and back down. Now the job of the band is obviously to create tension. So it's trying to pull us back down. So what we're trying to do is fight against the band. Now, obviously, if you cannot feel this in your bum, like I just did there, adjust your feet pattern. So go further or wider apart, just so you know where you can feel the muscle. Because sometimes when you do it, you can't feel it. So again, perform 12 repetitions of this, making sure you pause at the top for 2 seconds. Now, once you've done these banded glute bridges, then going to go into straight away 12 banded squats. So again, making sure that the band is on your back and on your shoulders and it's not on your neck. And then you're going to go as far down as possible, drive your feet through the floor and come back up. It's really important, like in the first clip that I showed you, do not lock your legs. Take your time. What we want to do is create as much tension as possible. And again, keeping your chest up and looking forward on a specific marker would really help you with this. We're now going to move on to obviously the body weight option. So again, it is 12 glute bridges. You can do them both at the same time like we're here, or what we can do is extend one leg out and you can independently work on one glute at a time. When you're doing this, again, try and keep your heel as close to the floor as possible, and that way you can feel a good contraction on the glute. So on this instance, I'm working my right bum cheek and making sure that all the weight is on your shoulders and on your heels, and making sure you're squeezing at the top of the rep for at least 2 seconds. Now we're going to superstate the body weight glute bridge with a body weight squat. So again, just going shoulder width apart, keeping your chest out. Again, if you want to, you can put your arms out. That way you can focus on keeping your chest out. And you're then going to go straight into 12 body weight squats. Going to go into the last superset of the workout, so we're going to go forward to reverse lunges. It's really important that you take tiny steps when you do this. So what you're going to do is you're going to come into a lunge forward, come back to middle, put your leg back and do a lunge. Every time that you go forward here and then you go backwards, that is 1 rep, and we need to do 12 of these. So basically you need to do 24 on each side. So again, just making sure shallow steps, looking forward, keep your chest up and go into this lunge position. Remember, all the weight needs to be on the lead foot. So when I'm going backwards, it's on my right foot. When I come forward, it's on my left foot. Not left foot, sorry, left leg, sorry. But again, just taking your time and making sure we've got good quality reps. There's nothing worse than rushing the workout. What we want to do is make sure that we've got a good mind to muscle connection and actually understanding what muscles we're trying to work and what we're trying to achieve out of this workout. Obviously, once you've done 12 on the left and 12 on the right, you're then going to go straight into calf raises. So this is the dumbbell variation of it. So you're going to do is hold a dumbbell with one hand, place another hand on the wall for balance, and then we're going to go into calf raises. So the idea is to come up onto our tiptoes as far forward as we can, holding at the top, and then lowering it as low as we can. Watching back at this video again, I should have added another plate so I could go into a fuller range of motion all the way down at the bottom, because the shoes that I'm wearing are quite spacey, so they've got quite a big heel, so actually I'm not getting a full stretch to the bottom, but that's something that I can do next time. But again, just making sure you come all the way up to your heels and back down, and you do 12 on the left, 12 on the right. Now, I haven't got a banded version for this, just because you can't keep one resistance band on one leg and then move it at the same time, so it's quite tricky. So what you're going to need to do is you need to do 12 forward to reverse lunges on each side with just body weight, to be honest. And this, again, you're going to get your heart rate up, and again, it's a great way of isolating the legs. We're then going to go straight into 2 options with the calf raises. So you can do it with a band if you wanted to. So 1 leg at a time, come up, squeeze the calf back down and relax, but make sure you get a full stretch at the bottom. Again, doing 12 on the left, 12 on the right. Team, obviously, if you don't have a resistant band, I have got you covered. So all we're going to do is do 12 repetitions body weight. Again, if you do struggle with balance like I do sometimes, you can do both calves at the same time. So again, coming up to the top, squeezing 1, 2, and slowly coming down and pausing at the bottom. So I'm hoping you've got a lot of obviously great information, a lot of value out of this video, and hopefully you can take away a few things from this video and add this into your own training. Again, guys, if you have liked the video, please hit the like button below and please subscribe to the channel. It would help out massively. And if you know that anyone's struggling with any motivation, or you just think this information out of this video will be beneficial to someone, please hit the share button. That would help out massively. Anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it there. Hope to see you in the next one and stay safe.